Hello and welcome back to Infinitude. This is Adobe Illustrator tutorial for beginners part 3, where we will learn about magic wand, lasso, paintbrush, blob brush, shaper, pencil, smooth, path eraser, join, eraser, scissor, knife, and at last paint bucket tool. Without further ado, let's dive into Adobe Illustrator. At first, I will create a new document. You can start with the document that we have created in the previous videos. I will give it a name, Getting Started. At first, let's create a few shapes with the help of rectangle tool. And then we will create other shapes like rounded, rectangle tool, ellipse tool, and polygonal tool. And at last, polygon. I'll resize this to a smaller one. At first, let's start with the magic wand tool. What magic wand tool does is it will select the shapes that we have created based on the selection that we have made. At first, let's select any one of the shape. What exactly magic wand tool does? Magic wand tool selects the shapes based on its stroke, fill, or either the shape. Let's change one of the colors in the shape. I will choose the first rectangle, go to the fill and change it to red. Now I will go to magic wand tool and click one of the shapes. Now we can see it has selected all the shapes beside the shape that we have changed its fill color to red. Now I will change one of the shapes stroke into 5 points, and now this time I will go to the select menu, shape, and then fill and color. What it does is it selected these shapes that has the fill and color same. Now this time I will select stroke width. It has selected only one that has the same stroke. Now let's go to the lasso tool. By lasso tool we can select the provided points and move those points using the direct selection tool. Let's go to the lasso tool. I will select 2 points of this rectangle and go to arrow selection tool, and we can move these points that are selected. Let's select the lasso tool one more time, and I will select some of the points in the rounded rectangle. Go to the arrow tool, that is white arrow or direct selection tool, and we can move those points. Let's Control Z. And now I will go into the paintbrush tool. With this tool, and I will paint the shape, just the rough one. And let's go to the other, that is Blob Brush tool, and let's paint. The Blob Brush draws strokes that are immediately expanded into shapes, whereas the brush tool draw paths that have a brush stroke applied. To see that, I will change it into the wireframe mode. Here we can see the Blob Brush draws the strokes and it is immediately changes into the shape, whereas the paintbrush has the brush stroke applied. Now let's get back into the normal mode. I will delete all the shapes. Let's go to the shaper tool. With this tool, draw a rough representation of rectangle or circle, ellipse, triangle, or polygon. What it does is the shape we draw is converted into a crisp geometric shapes. Now let's clear all this. Now let's select all and delete. Now let's go to the pencil tool, which is inside the shaper tool. Just like pencil, we can draw any lines. If we want to smooth some path, then we can choose the smooth tool and we can smooth. Make sure that you have selected the path. Let's select another shape and I will use the smooth tool and I'll smooth out this corner. And if we choose our path eraser tool, it will erase the paths. Now let's go to the another tool, that is join tool. Let's select these paths, go to join tool, and we can just click and drag to join these paths. Now let's go to the another tool that is just below the join tool, that is eraser tool. With the eraser tool we can erase the paths just like normal eraser. Now we will go to the scissor tool that is inside the eraser tool. Just click and it will split the paths. We can see the path has been splitted into multiple sections. Now let's go to the another tool that is knife. For this knife tool, let's create a shape. And I will choose the knife tool. What a knife tool does is it cuts the object along a freehand path we draw with the tool, dividing the objects into their component filled faces. Now let's choose the rounded one and use the knife tool. We can see the object has cut into multiple pieces. Now we are at the end of this tutorial. Before that, let's dive into the live paint bucket tool. At first I will select all and then delete. Before using the live paint bucket tool, let's create some shapes. I will use the rounded rectangle and then rectangle. Let's use the ellipse also. Live paint bucket tool is hidden, which we can find inside the shape builder toolset. Before using the light bucket tool, we have to select all of the parts. Let's select that, and then we can click with the paint bucket and fill the areas between parts. For that, let's change the fill color to red and click. I will change the fill color to black, and then I'll choose this one. Let's change the color, and another one, and let's choose the blue one. Let's go with the green ones, and the gray ones. Let's go with the yellow, and at last another fill. Let's choose orange. We can see how easily we can fill the color with the light paint bucket. Let's select all of these and move it to the center. If you like this video, then don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. In the next video, we will learn about the pen tool.